Memories of my father. There was always laughter in our home growing up, lots of laughter. My two brothers happened to be very funny, and I myself could make my dad laugh like no other. I remember asking my husband early on in our marriage if he minded my parents coming over. My husband's reply was something I wasn't expecting. He said, "I love it when your parents come over. I love hearing you laugh." I didn't realize just how much we laughed when my dad and I got together, especially later in life. And oh, how I could make him laugh. He would be practically rolling on the floor with hysteria, holding his stomach in as if it might explode with the pressure, all the while expressing an almost childlike contagious giggle. He would always, ultimately, lean over to one side of the chair he was sitting on, and with outstretched legs, he would support himself on one elbow in order to more easily reach his back pocket to obtain his omnipresent hanky, soaking up the laughing-induced happy tears from his face and wiping, always twice, across his smiling lips to arrest the final gasp of laughter and to catch his breath. He knew the healing powers of laughter. There was always laughter. There are so many memories of my interactions with my dad growing up, but there's one that I will purposely call on when I need a jolt of sanity or a momentary escape from reality. The most vivid memories I have can be recreated instantly by a certain scent that is familiar to me. This particular scent happens to be fresh cut grass, my favorite scent in the entire world, second only to the scent of my husband's bare skin. This memory is brought to life sometimes unexpectedly, and sometimes at my own searching out of the scent I love, knowing full well it will carry me back to one of the most treasured memories of my childhood. To this day, when I smell fresh cut grass, there is a momentary emotional reaction when my brain first recognizes that remarkable scent. My blood will feel like it's leaving my body and being replaced by air. I will feel chilled and light, as if I could take flight. Then it begins. I can almost see him, my wonderful father, and I can hear his voice. I am aware now and fully present in my dream. It's 1968. I can see the little denim jeans I wore, the red t-shirt beneath my dark blue windbreaker, and my little blue and white sneakers, the kind with the white laces. I can see the familiar surroundings and know that I am 5 or 6 years old. I'm in Blandford on the south shore of Nova Scotia at my great-aunt's cottage. The well-known cold storage room is filled with homemade jams and jellies, along with a good supply of bottled red cream soda. The bottle cap opener is haphazardly nailed way up high on the door trim. I can't quite reach it, but that's okay. My big brother will open it for me. Some of the adults are in the main parlor, located just off the kitchen of the old cottage. The enormous antique organ sits in a stately manner along the wall of the narrow sitting room, but I can't make it work. You have to pump the big pedals with your foot, pull out some of those rods, and press the keys all at the same time. Aggravating and futile, if you ask me. That's a lot of work just to end up making a hauntingly eerie sound. I head towards the kitchen, and to my left, I see the very steep stairs leading up to the top floor. I'm afraid of those stairs. They are too steep, and they make creepy noises. I get the feeling I might fall if I try to climb them, so I avoid those stairs at all costs. I turn and gingerly walk across the aged-worn, linoleum-covered floor in the large kitchen, my sneakers making hushed, squeaking sounds that whisper in my ears as I make my way to the side door. I push open the lightweight framed screen door, thick with years of peeling, multi-layered paint of green and red, and I step outside. The cool, late summer breeze lovingly lifts my mousy brown hair as I step out onto the porch, and I am compelled to take in a breath. There it is, that wonderful smell of fresh cut grass. My brothers and sisters are all cheerfully and enthusiastically rolling down the little grassy hill. My grandmother is in the garden. Her cat-like silver-rimmed glasses catch a glint of sun, her hair perfectly coiffed, and her lips as red as summer cherries. her cotton sundress, flowered and bright, wafting in the gentle breeze. With a sizable bowl from the kitchen held firmly under her arm, she is busily and contentedly gathering fresh vegetables to cook with our dinner. My dad is casually half standing, half sitting on the side of our 1960s wood-paneled station wagon that is neatly parked on the great expanse of property that surrounds the cottage. He is cheerfully speaking with his dad, my grandfather, enjoying a cold beer while keeping watch over his children. My dad is tall and strong as he waves his beautiful hands, gesturing as he talks. His broad shoulders, bigger than life. A panorama of gently rolling green sits before me, like some great, untouched, unexplored, vast countryside. I join my brothers and sisters and roll down the grassy hill for the 100th time, laughing and screaming at the fun of it all. And for the 100th time, I run to him. I can hear my own voice, muffled and echoed in the distance of my own memory. "Daddy, Daddy, my shoe is untied again. Can you please tie it for me? I want to roll down the hill, just one more time." My father looks down at me and says, okay, little Loie, it's time you learn how to tie your own shoes." He gently lifts me, seemingly without any great effort, and places me softly on the hood of our station wagon, my legs dangling to one side. I look up at him, my hands and face dirty and stained with a mixture of red cream soda and grime. I tilt my head and close one eye as I sweep my tangled hair off of my face with sticky hands. He lifts my foot containing the untied sneaker and places it against his bended knee, leaning in ever so slightly to prevent me from having to exert any energy of my own to hold it up. He gathers the two lengths of the undone laces and looks down at me with a tender smile and says, "Let me tell you the story of the rabbit and the tree." And so my most favorite memory in living color, the memory of simply learning how to tie my shoes, is ingrained in my mind. I have purposely seared it into my memory banks. This wonderful, loving interaction of my dad and me. He had patiently tied my shoe at least half a dozen times, then to patiently show me how to tie it myself. I felt like a big girl that day, finally tying my own shoes. Now, over 50 years has passed, and there are days in late summer that I will step out onto my own front porch when I know my husband is going to mow our lawn, or if I hear a neighbor mowing their lawn, in hopes that the scent of fresh-cut grass will reach my senses, and I can be transported back to that glorious day, if only for a moment or two. To roll down that hill just one more time. To run to him just one more time. To hear him laugh just one more time. A desperate wish, and it leaves me weak.